I don't know how the heck I'm getting this thing off the trailer when I get home. So something I've learned living in South Dakota for my first winter up here is, you know, if you've ever watched The Walking Dead, and you know how anytime there's a road scene, there's just cars piled up everywhere. Well, that's kind of reminds me of what we do here in South Dakota. Mainly because I'll show you. So like there's days, this is not every day by far, but there are days when the road is just 100% ice, and then there's just cars everywhere on the side of the road. Now I just happen to pull up the camera in a bad spot where there's not. It just made me think of it because we just passed like 6 cars, you know, in the ditch, you know, way over there, way over there, way up there, and the thought came into my head. So I'm like, oh shoot, maybe I'll just record an excerpt a little bit here real quick. But yeah, man. So riding on these roads has definitely been an experience for me. The speed limit here is 70. I know you couldn't see it by that sign because it was covered in snow and ice. And we're doing about 45. And I am in 4-wheel drive because when I'm in 2-wheel drive, I end up pushing the back end of this truck out a lot. Pretty much every incline, the back end starts to fishtail a little bit. So I'm just keeping her in 4 and just cruising along. I did stop about 15 minutes ago. There was a couple people that slid into each other on the freeway. And so I was able to stop. One of them was able to get down the shoulder. The other one was straddling the 2 lanes, if you can call them lanes. And so I was able to stop, help them out, get the lady off of the freeway, and wait for the sheriffs to show up before I took off. But yeah, I don't know, it's entertaining just driving down these icy roads and just seeing all of the cars on the side of the road. Most of them are empty. Most of them hit the shoulder or hit the ditch the previous night when it was dark or the middle of the storm, and highway patrol grabs them and just takes them to a safe place, and the car stays there until everything clears up, like this morning. So not really anybody I can help. Every here and there I find somebody that I can help. Most of them want to wait on a tow truck they've already called, and that's fine. But it's fun, it's entertaining just to drive and be like, oh, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. And I just found it funny, so figured I'd share that with y'all. But anyway, stay safe, guys. If you've got summer tires like I do on this F250, these are not winter tires by any means. They don't even have that 3-peak snowflake thing. These are summer tires. And yeah, like if I'm not in 4-wheel drive and I'm at a stop sign or a stoplight, it's really hard to get moving. And you got to remember that once you are moving, it's going to be just as hard to stop. So yeah, and you start sliding. I mean, momentum is not your friend if you're headed towards the ditch. So drive safe, be safe, keep momentum in your mind, and hopefully you never see me in the ditch, and hopefully I never see you in the ditch. Welcome back, guys. We are in the Super Duty today. We just took a long ride to buy some more junk that we can hopefully make some money on. You might be able to see it over my shoulder right there on the trailer. We just drove 3 hours to pick up a, let me see if I can swap the, here we go. I guess you can kind of see it, not the car seat, but whoa. It's a 2005 Ford F250 Super Duty 6.0 liter, and we just picked this thing up for about $1,000. It's not a whole truck, it's half a truck, 3/4 of a truck, I don't know. It's got axles on it, which is what I really want. I've got 2 reasons for axles from 05 plus Super Duties. So we are riding in a 2004, and I love this truck, 2004 6.0. And holy crud, this wind is getting insane. Can you hear that? It's the wind. I just got like 5 miles of the gallon going up the last hill. It was an uphill run for 40 miles, and topped off the tank before, and then topped off the tank right after that hill because I went down a whole 1/4 of a tank. And yeah, it was 46 miles and I put in 7.8 gallons of fuel. So yeah, she's a thirsty with that 6.0 on the back there. So anyway, this 6.0 wasn't actually a wreck from what I understand. It's just been parted out. This was a blown engine. Somebody blew out the engine on it. The guy who blew out the engine, as the story goes, gutted the interior, took everything out of the interior. There's no seats left, no nothing. Took the grill and a couple other things and sold it to this other guy that I just bought it from. The guy I just bought it from supposedly paid $1,500 for it, and all he wanted out of it was the turbo. I don't know if it was a special turbo. I don't know what else. I know he was planning on, he was going to take the cab off and scrap that. He was going to take the turbo, and he was going to take the rims and tires. Not the tires. The tires are, well, 100% toast. There ain't no tires. But he's going to take the rims off. He's going to take the bumper, and he's going to try and make some money on that. All I bought it for was the axles and the transmission. So the reasoning, keeping an eye on my temps, they're going up. Going up another hill. I don't know if you can tell if that's a hill, but we're cruising at 75 miles an hour. The oil, we have the air to oil cooler from Bulletproof Diesel with a 180-degree thermostat. We're almost to crest this hill. We are running a Bless Performance tune. I did not switch it to the tow tune before I left because, well, I just didn't think about it. All right, we're going downhill now. She's going to cool off. Hopefully. But anyway, this guy was also going to take out the engine. He was going to use the engine or part it out, or I don't know. All I wanted were the axles and the transmission. The transmission, because my F250, the one we're driving right now, struggles in reverse. It has ever since I bought it. The day I bought it, it just struggled. We've had it for about 2 years now. I've put a lot of trailers behind it. If it's empty, it does reverse just fine. There's a little hesitation and a little, I don't know what you want to call it. But if I hook up a trailer, even an empty trailer, and try to back up, she'll do it, but she does a lot of shuddering. So I've just been waiting for the transmission to go out. I saw this truck posted. I talked to the guy. We agreed on $1,000 for the axles and transmission. That way I have a transmission ready to go whenever this one finally dies. And man, it's windy. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I want the axles for one of two things. Either one, I'm going to put them under the Jeep when I do the 1-ton swap, because the 05 Plus Super Duty axles turn sharper as the story goes than the 04. I have a set of 04 axles sitting on the ground behind the garage that is ready to go onto whatever they go onto, whether it's the Jeep or something else. But this deal came along and I like it. So that's option one. Option two is, I didn't know this when I talked to the guy online, but it definitely looks like an aftermarket suspension with potentially a 6-inch lift kit on the coils and the rear leaf springs. I'm running a 4-inch lift kit on the blue Super Duty that we're in right now, but I got the front leaf springs. And what I might do is do the front end swap with on the Super Duty and put coils up front on this thing, and well, I'll move. I like, well, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I got some thinking to do. Right now, the deal popped up and I had to snag it while I could, because living where we live now, deals are few and far between. And usually, like right now, I had to drive 2.5 hours to go get it. And yeah, so when you find a deal, I gotta snag it. Come on, baby, you can do it. You can do it. We're losing speed. Anyway, getting a little hot too. A little hotter. Not because it's uphill. We are driving into the wind and a lot of uphill. So she's working, man. But look at that transmission temperature. Transmission's doing fine. I don't know how the heck I'm getting this thing off the trailer when I get home, but we'll figure that out when we get home. So as it stands, we're just gonna keep on trucking, keep on beating this wind, and yeah, like I said, as soon as you stop going uphill, she starts cooling off already. I mean, the oil, when it's cold outside, like right now, I mean, there's still snow on the ground, the oil cools down real fast with that air-to-oil cooler from Bulletproof Diesel. It's got a thermostat in there, never gets below 186, and typically I sit right about, 180. Typically I sit about 186. That's the story, guys. I'm headed home. Yee! Hopefully we get there. We're halfway there already, so it was only a 180-mile drive. That's it, so, you know, whatever. Anyway, we'll see you guys later.